Om Sadashiva Samarambhat Shankaracharya Madhyama Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Parampara Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadike Shranye Trayambake Gauri Narayani Namostute Narayani Namostute Narayani Namostute. My pranams to Sadguru, my pranams to Adi Parashakti, my pranams to Guru Parampara, my pranams to Satsanga. Today we start Tripura Rahasya. So I'll talk about what is Tripura Rahasya and what is the significance of the text. So we'll go through the overview. Today will be an introduction session. I'll give an introduction of what is Tripura Rahasya, why it is important, and what is the context of Tripura Rahasya. How does it fall? Where does it fall as in the whole spiritual tradition? What is its placement? Why is it so important? Is it important? And how is it relevant to our lives? So Tripura Rahasya is by Ramana Maharshi. For those of you who know Ramana Maharshi considered this the highest spiritual teaching. So there are only two texts that he gave importance to. One is Tripura Rahasya and the other is Ribhu Gita. So he would say just these two texts, even if you don't understand it, just by listening to it, by reading it, you get closer to the truth. Okay? So there are very, very, very few texts in the world that speak about the truth directly. There are many texts that speak about the truth indirectly. And there are very few texts that speak about the truth directly. And this is one such text. So in the words of Osho says, when he talks about Ashtavakra Gita, he says, first of all, it's impossible to speak about the truth. Truth cannot be spoken about, simply because it is beyond mind. You cannot capture the truth with the mind. Reality cannot be captured with thoughts. Why? Because thought, whatever is captured by, whatever becomes an object of thought is an object. If you understand something, if you speak about something, that means you have objectified it. It has become an object of the mind. Paramatma, Parabrahma, cannot be an object of the mind. It is beyond the mind. So in that sense, what is the truth can never be spoken. Okay? But then what are all these scriptures, gurus, Mahatmas trying to do? They're trying to bring that, they're trying to teach about something that cannot be thought about. They're trying to bring it, simplify things, simplify the absolute reality, Brahman, so that you can, so that they create enough pointers so the mind becomes silent and the truth is recognized and revealed. Can it be spoken? No. Then why is the speaking? The speaking is the effort or the way or grace of the Guru and the Shastra to point out the reality. And in trying to do so, Osho says, when he talks about the Ashtavakra Gita, that everybody fails. Every single person fails when they try to talk about the truth. But there are few people who fail very less. Okay? And the one who fails very less, particularly, is your Sadguru, who is having a dialogue with you. And when it comes to texts, he says Ashtavakra, that in the Ashtavakra Gita, fails very less because that is a very sharp inquiry into what is reality. And in the same category of failing very less is Tripura Rahasya. Tripura Rahasya comes, and that's why it was considered by Ramana Maharshi as the highest text. Why? Because simply it does not cater to a lot of unnecessary things. It directly penetrates and talks about the truth. And in the case of Tripura Rahasya, it's very special because it expounds on the truth very beautifully through various stories and primarily inquiry. Okay. Now, I have a special connection with Tripura Rahasya. So almost a decade ago, 10 years ago, I had found a very tiny book. I didn't know it was Tripura Rahasya. I just saw the photo of Dattatreya. So Tripura Rahasya is a teaching of Bhagwan Dattatreya to Parashurama. Okay. And there are many other people who are spoken about in the text. I'll just, when I come to that part about the story of Tripura Rahasya, I'll tell you that. So I'd seen this photo of Dattatreya. I got intrigued and I read that small book. It was a very tiny book. It was the essence of Tripura Rahasya. At that time, I didn't quite understand it's Tripura Rahasya, but I was able to relate to the vichara in that. This was a very long time ago. And I always remembered that, and this was an online book that I found. I had not found the actual book. Then I remember struggling to find that physical copy. And after many years, I found that physical copy. And by then, I had learned about the Tripura Rahasya. And recently, my guru, my Sadguru Prabhuji, had also done sessions on the Tripura Rahasya. And today is all the more auspicious because for me, it's my Sadguru's birthday. They're celebrating his birthday. Guru doesn't have any birth. He's not the body. But Shankaracharya tells, all Advaita is fine. But when it comes to the Guru, everything is suspended. Okay, no Advaita with Guru. So I'm fortunate, blessed to start the Tripura Rahasya on my Guruji's birthday, and also so that I have some history with the text. So this is the highest, one of the highest spiritual teaching, and it covers it captures and communicates the teaching of Vedanta in its own way. Now, the beauty of Tripura Rahasya is that it doesn't acknowledge or speak from a perspective of duality. So that is why that's where the story of Dattatreya comes. So I'll tell the story of Dattatreya, but the word Dattatreya has the answer in it. So Dattatreya, you've heard the word Datta, you know about the great saint Dattatreya, the avatara. He's considered the avatar of Vishnu. So Dattatreya means the one who gives. Treya means three. So in his name there is Treya, and in Tripura also there is Tripura, three. So Dattatreya means the one who gives something which is beyond three. So there is three that we know: waking state, dreaming state, deep sleep state. Okay, and three bodies: physical body, subtle body, and causal body. Waking, dreaming, deep sleep. Sattva, rajas, tamas. Okay, and physical body, gross body, subtle body, and causal body. So these are the three. Dattatreya, Bhagwan Dattatreya, doesn't address these three. He only speaks beyond three. He doesn't even get into communication about the lower. So all the lower is discarded. It's Maya, it's gone. His speech communication is only beyond. That's why it's called Dattatreya. The one who gives something that is beyond these three. Okay? And the message that is beyond these three is the Tripura Rahasya. Tripura means Tripura. There are three. Pura means city. Puri. And Rahasya. The secret of, so the literal transliteration is the secret of the three cities, or the secret beyond the three cities, or the essence of the three cities. We will understand what is this three cities, and such communication of that is which is beyond. Is it even helpful? Because we are in the three cities. We're in the waking, dreaming, deep sleep. How does all of this add up? Okay. So there were three monks. Have you heard the story of three monks? There were three monks. They were sitting by a river, and they were in deep meditation. The first monk, he opened his eyes suddenly, and he says, "I forgot that I have to turn off the stove." And they're sitting by the river. In front of them, there is the water. The river is flowing. So he walks on the river, on the water. He goes on to the other side. He finishes his work, comes back walking on the water, sits back in meditation. The second person, he also opens his eyes. He says, "Oh my God, I forgot to dry my clothes." So he walks on the water, goes on to the other side. He dries his clothes, comes back walking on the water, sits in meditation. Now the third person, he sees this, the first two doing this, and he starts feeling insecure. All three of us have been doing sadhana for the same amount of time, but these two have attained some realization and powers, Shakti. They can walk on water. I don't have such Shakti. Now, if I don't prove myself, I'll be considered the less evolved one. So he closes his eyes, chants some mantras, okay, holds his breath. Then he feels, okay, now I can walk on water. He tries to walk on water. He falls inside the water. Again, he comes back, again sits in meditation, chants some mantras. Again, he tries, again, he falls. He keeps doing this, going back, sitting meditation, entering the water, drowning, coming back. These two, the other two, they hear the sound, right, of the water and the splash. This guy's putting effort. So they open their eyes, they look at him, And the first monk looks at the second monk and he says, should we just tell him where the stones are? Because he's simply putting effort to walk on the, trying to walk on the water, but they know that there are certain stones. They're walking on the stones. But it looks to this person that they're walking on water. So people think secret means something like that, something mystical. There is nothing mystical. Okay. It is solid stones. And the stones is called the process of vichara, inquiry. So there's a certain way to inquire into the truth, which is taught by the Guru. And this process, step-by-step process, is expounded in the Tripura. This is also the same approach taken in Vedanta, where the Guru, through various prakriyas, step by step, tells you or points out to Brahman. And the Tripura does this in a very beautiful way. Tells us how to walk on water, how to make it appear like you're walking on water. So, what is the secret of the three cities? Tripura, Rahasya. The Rahasya is there is one reality. I should not reveal the Rahasya right now. The Rahasya is there is only one supreme reality, unchanging reality in all the three cities. Now, what are these three cities first? There is waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. They are called Puris. Puri means city. To understand spiritual truths, it really helps if you understand the language Sanskrit. Okay, so Sanskrit is a very, very unique language. It's called Devavani. Okay, Deva Bhasha, meaning the divine language. Why is it divine? Just the way Dattatreya doesn't talk about anything in the lower, Sanskrit doesn't point out anything in the objective world. Sanskrit is always pointing out the subjective reality. So the words in Sanskrit don't point out to the object. For a communication purpose, when we use Sanskrit and when there's some text written, it is talking about, if it's talking about a place, if it's narrating something, there are objects spoken about. But in reality, Sanskrit is talking about the subjective reality behind the object. So when English says city, it is talking about a city, space. Okay, space, time, object. When Sanskrit says city, it is not talking about city. Okay, what is it talking about? Puri in Sanskrit means a place which is not a place not like a geography. The city is the waking state is referred to as city because it's an experience. The subjective experience of the waking state is referred to as city. The subjective experience of dream state is referred to as another city. And the subjective experience of deep sleep state is referred to as another city. Okay. Then there are other places it talks about. Vaikunta. Okay. What is Vaikunta? It's a place. But in Sanskrit, Vaikunta is, now how do you decode this? The secret is in the word itself. So, ख्याल जिसका था मुझे, ख्याल में मिला मुझे, सवाल का जवाब भी सवाल में मिला मुझे. तो सवाल का जवाब भी सवाल में ही है. So in Sanskrit, the meaning of the word is in the word. Okay. So Vaikunta means some sort of a feeling of incompleteness. Vaikunta means a feeling of no incompleteness. Now people go on wondering during Vaikunta Ekadashi, I should go to Vaikunta, I should go to Vaikunta. Where is Vaikunta? Vaikunta is a subjective experience of no incompleteness. If there's an object introduced, there it becomes limited. It is impossible to be Vaikunta. If there's an object dependency, which includes space and time, it is not Vaikunta, it is limitation. So when Vedanta says Vaikunta, it is referring to a state of nirvana, which is it's state of Brahman, no kuntate, no lacuna, no duality. Same thing with Kailasa. Kailasa becomes a place, okay, objectified. But in Sanskrit, Kailasa refers to Kaivalya Lasa, a state of non-duality. So when you please have to understand that the mind has a tendency to objectify everything. Because the mind right now portrays yourself as an object, as the body. So every communication that is done to you, you will annotate it or understand it or perceive it from the center of I am the body. That means an objective center. So is your center an object or is your center a subject? Makes a huge difference in understanding spirituality. Okay. So, and that is why, to give a simpler example, Dattatreya is called Digambara. Have you heard the word Digambara? Digambara, Dattatreya, Digambara. Digambara means people, when they translate into English or any other language, they translate it as naked. Okay. Naked means some objective attribute, something that doesn't have clothes, which has nothing to do with Digambara. Digambara means Dik Ambara. So they took the word Ambara from Sanskrit. Ambara refers to clothing. And they translate as, okay, Digambara means no clothes. Okay. So this is the problem of being centered in an object. Why that's happening? Because the person who's translating has an object center. For he or she is an object, which is the body or mind. Now, wearing the glasses of the body and mind, whatever you see, you will see only objects. So now Digambara, Dattatreya Digambara becomes a naked person. But Dattatreya Digambara, first of all, is not a person. Digambara means Dig Ambara. Dig means direction. Okay. So now if you tell this, Dig direction is a word, is a translation. Again, immediately you objectify it. Left, right, up, down. Okay. But to tell left, right, up, down, I have to have a center. So what has become the center? Body has become the center. With an object as a center, you have told left, right, up, down. Now forget the consciousness. Make space as a center. What is up? What if space is the center, what is up in space? Everything is space. What is down? What is left? What is right? Right? The space is the closest to subtlety. Now you speak, will make consciousness the center. In consciousness, there is no up, there is no down, there is no in, there is no out. There's no left, there's no right, because everything is consciousness. And such a person who has realized, I am that consciousness. No left, no right, no up, no down. I'm neither in, neither out. Neither can I go, neither can I come. There's no direction in his perception. His or her perception is called Digambara. Digambara means his dress is the four directions, or all directions. All the directions are his dress. It is referring to his subjective experience, not the object, not the person called Dattatreya, or the body of Dattatreya, which is perceived. Do you understand the difference? This is the difference. This is the Maya. The Maya makes you to be always centered in an object, have an objective center. Okay? And the objective center is the body. Whatever you perceive, whatever you go through, you always interpret it, inhale it, experience it, and react to it based on a center called I am the body, I am the mind, I am the intellect, or I am so and so and so and so. Okay. Now, is that life? Can I shift to a higher perception? And that higher perception is called mukti, or liberation, where you're no longer depending on an object to interpret or make references. Your point of reference now is consciousness. And in consciousness, there is no duality. Consciousness alone exists. And this supreme consciousness, which alone exists, which is the reality of the waking, dreaming, and deep sleep, these three cities, is called in Tripura Rahasya as Tripura Devi. So she is called as Tripura Sundari. Have you heard this word called Tripura Sundari? Tripura Sundari means the most beautiful in all three cities, all three worlds. Now, who is the most beautiful in the all three? The moment you hear the word Sundari, the mind goes to body. Okay, somebody's face. The very moment you hear the words in English or any other language, beauty, grace, okay, any subjective word, you immediately objectify it. The moment I say love, what comes into your heart? What comes in your mind? One red color shape comes into your mind. Okay, that subjective experience, which cannot be spoken about, becomes an object. Okay, so when I say Tripura Sundari, first one supermodel will come to your mind. Okay, must be a very beautiful woman. So Tripura Sundari is referring to Adi Parashakti, the Divine Mother, who in the case of Tripura Rahasya is spoken as the highest supreme reality. What Vedanta calls as Parabrahman, Brahman, in Tripura Rahasya, that Brahman is referred to as Tripura Devi, Adi Parashakti. She's also called as Rajarajeshwari. So one more connection that I have with Tripura Rahasya, because I live in Rajarajeshwari Nagar. Okay, and here there is the Rajarajeshwari temple. And Rajarajeshwari is nothing other than Tripura Sundari, Tripura Devi. Okay, and Tripura Rahasya is her secret. What is her secret? Her first secret is she's not an object. Okay, and she is the absolute consciousness, the essence of the three states: waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. And she is the one that becomes the waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. So to understand her, to realize her, is the sankalpa, is the desire of Tripura Rahasya. So Tripura Rahasya has three parts. The first part is called Mahatmya Khanda. Mahatmya Khanda is the glory of Tripura Devi. It has around, totally Tripura Rahasya is around a little over 12,000 shlokas, 12,000 verses. The first 6,000 odd is Mahatmya Khanda. Mahatmya Khanda is the glory of Tripura Devi. Okay. And the Sri Vidya Upasana is part of the Mahatmya Khanda. So Mahatmya Khanda is the most divine. It is about the Upasana on Sri Vidya, on this Devi. So you might have heard many people doing Sri Vidya Upasana. There is a certain sanctity, divinity, discipline, and rules, regulations, and sacredness associated with Sri Vidya Upasana. You cannot just arbitrarily do it. It is passed on from master to disciple in various conditions. Okay, there's a certain way to do it, there's a certain time, and it's a process. It's an ancient process. And that ancient process is extremely significant because it gives a phala. It's called Sri Vidya Phala. There's a Sri Vidya Phala. Okay, and the glory of that is expounded in the Mahatmya Khanda. But what we will be going through is the second part called the Jnana Khanda. Jnana Khanda is around 3,000 shlokas. Jnana Khanda is the Atmajnana part of Tripura Rahasya. And the third part is called Charya Khanda. The Charya Khanda is lost right now. So nobody knows about Charya Khanda. The Charya Khanda is about dharma. Charya means movement. Charya Khanda talks about how to interact with the society and the world. So the Charya Khanda, there is no books available, there's no information available about Charya Khanda. It's completely lost. But the Mahatmya Khanda and the Jnana Khanda is available to us, and we will take on Jnana Khanda. Okay. Now the Jnana Khanda is the teaching of Bhagwan Dattatreya to Parashurama. So how did all this happen? So first let me tell you the story of Dattatreya. So you might have heard the story of Dattatreya. Dattatreya is the son of Atri and Anasuya. There are two rishis, Atri Rishi and Anasuya Rishi. The two rishis married, a couple, enlightened couple. Okay, people keep talking or have no knowledge in a generic context that India has a history, Bharata has a history of a lot of enlightened couples, rishis and rishikas, and they were married and they had children. What kind of children? Enlightened children who became great masters, saints, gurus for the world. So one such couple, Atri and Anasuya. Again, when I say Atri, why is the rishi called Atri? Three because he has gone beyond three gunas: Sattva guna, Rajo guna, Tamo guna. There are three gunas, which guna means the essential, a tendency, various essential tendencies that operate the universe. And that is why you have Chin Mudra. Have you seen the Chin Mudra? So when you meditate in Ashram. What is ashram? The moment you say ashram, again the mind goes back to some physical place, space. In Sanskrit, ashram means effort. Shram is effort, stress. There is discomfort. There is pain. There is suffering. There is stress. Okay. Ashram means where there is no stress. So if your house is a place of no stress, the house is an ashram. Wherever there is no stress, that place becomes an ashram. Now the problem is people, like I told in the story, the mind only thinks about miracles. The monk thinks about walking on water. His mind doesn't even come to the ground, that there can be a solid stone inside. Okay. Everything is exaggerated, conceptualized. But the ashram means a simple meaning where the mind is effortlessly silent. So such an ashram, there is this rishi called Atri, one who has gone beyond three gunas: sattva, rajas, tamas. So when you drop three gunas, you become Atri. That means, so that's also the significance of the Chin Mudra. In the Chin Mudra, you leave the three: sattva, rajas, tamas, and jiva and paramatma you realize as one. Okay, that is why you hold this mudra as a symbolism of dropping the three and placing the mind at this point, the point where the jivatma and paramatma are not dual. Okay, so this is Atri. This Chin Mudra is Atri. So a person, now a human being is a living mudra, and that person is Atri. He has gone beyond the three. He doesn't need any mudra now. He doesn't have to hold any mudra because he is the mudra. Now such a person is married to another person called Anasuya. What is Anasuya? Asuya means jealousy. Okay. Why there's jealousy? Jealousy is a very, it means, jealousy is somebody has something, I don't have it, so I burn. Okay. There is fire in me because I do not have what the other has. Anasuya has gone beyond jealousy. That's why she's called Anasuya. She has no more jealousy. She can never be jealous. Why she can never be jealous? Because she has understood that there is no other. Okay? That there is no other. There is only one reality, that is Brahman. She has gone beyond duality. Only if you have a sense that there is some other, then there can be a jealousy. When there is no other, how can there be jealousy? How can there be anger? How can there be any disturbing emotion? So this is what happened to Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa had cancer, throat cancer, and he was in terrible pain. He's realized being. He has many shishyas and people from all over the place would come to him. He's in terrible pain, and his students tell him, "We cannot see you like this. You please ask the Divine Mother to heal you." You're not even able to eat. He's not even able to eat food or speak. So they can't see his state, and they say, "Please ask Divine Mother." Ramakrishna Paramahamsa goes to Mother and he tells, "Mother, can you do something about my throat?" Okay. Now, so people say, "Oh, what Ramakrishna Paramahamsa seeing Mother is all delusion. It's all hallucination." If it is a human mind, what would the answer be for such a prayer? The answer would be fine. You are blessed. You'll be fine. You'll be better. Don't worry. Okay. Or some other answer. You'll find some medicine, or you will die, or something like that. But the answer the Divine Mother gives, she tells, you are already eating through so many people. All mouths are your mouth. You're already eating through so many people, so many mouths. That's what she says. And that is the reality. A non-duality. That there is no other. Okay. Don't make the body as a center, me. So the Anasuya has no jealousy because she doesn't perceive duality. Now, Atri and Anasuya are so great that even the Devatas know about them, and they are jealous. The Devatas are jealous of Anasuya because any great person, right? They start attracting a lot of power. So they fear that this lady will become more powerful than us. She'll take on my position as Indra or some other Devata. So they go and complain to Vishnu. There is Atri and Anasuya. They're becoming very powerful. They've become so powerful that they can take over our positions. So Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, they visit the ashram of Atri and Anasuya. And again, one more connection that I have with Atri and Anasuya is, it is told in the scriptures that Atri and Anasuya lived by a river called Vrishabhavati river, which is in Rajarajeshwari Nagar, where I live. Okay, so it is believed that Bhagwan Dattatreya was born in this area. So they come to Rajarajeshwari Nagar. The time it was not there. We hope Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara came here to Atri and Anasuya's house. I don't know how big was their site. So they came to their house. They came as 3 monks, and they asked Bhiksha, please give us food. Anasuya invited them inside, and she wanted to feed them. Atiti Devo Bhava. But these 3 monks, they put condition. No. You cannot feed us just like that. We have a certain way. You have to come naked. If you have to feed us food, you have to come naked and feed us. This lady is not disturbed because when they tell the word naked, nothing comes in her mind. She is beyond the body. She says, okay. She goes inside. She gets some water. She sprinkles on them. And they all become babies. They become babies, and she feeds them food. And she starts living with them. The babies start staying there. Now, the wives of Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara in the story, Lakshmi, Durga, Saraswati, they start getting worried. Oh, where are our husbands? Then they come to know that they're in this house, and the lady has converted them to babies. So they come, they tell Anasuya, please give us back our husbands. And Anasuya says, on one condition, that they really have to become my children. Okay. Then they have 3 children. Atri and Anasuya have 3 children: Soma, Dattatreya, and Durvasa. Brahma took the form of Soma, Vishnu took the form of Dattatreya, and Shiva took the form of Durvasa. Okay. And so this is a story. And like I told you many times, all these stories have a deep spiritual significance and meaning. Don't look at them at a superficial level. They carry an essential spiritual truth. Just the way I told you about Atri, Anasuya. And the God becomes child. What is the meaning of that? She converted God into child. Meaning, the Brahma, the creator, sustainer, and destroyer, becomes your child. God will become your child when you go beyond the notion of I am the body, I am the mind, I am the intellect. Okay, and that is at the Adi Adi Daivika level, sorry, Adhyatmika level. So every story has three levels of meaning: Adi Baudika, Adi Daivika, and Adhyatmika. At the Adhyatmika level is that consciousness, your consciousness will become childlike. At the Adi Daivika level, it is the Vishnu, the higher consciousness, taking a birth in a very unique environment of two enlightened beings. Two enlightened beings, when you awaken, you become a vessel to the higher consciousness descending. It could be as your own child, or it could be in the form of students. Okay, it could be that you have, like Bhagwan, so many masters. If you talk about Anandamayi Ma or Mata Amritanamayi, they don't have any children of their own, but all the students are their enlightened children. So they create enlightened children. Okay, that is the meaning of the story. Now, Dattatreya, as I told you, is a very unique guru, master. He doesn't speak anything below the three. He doesn't speak about waking state, doesn't speak about dreaming state. He doesn't acknowledge Maya. Okay, and that's why he's called Avaduta. Avaduta means he has no concept of body. He has no concept of body as a reality. He has, in his perception, in Dattatreya's perception, there is no object. There is no other reality apart from consciousness. Okay, such is the greatness of Bhagwan Dattatreya. And that is why he's shown. Can you all see this picture? That's why he's shown with three heads. He is the avatar of Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara together. And he is always shown with four dogs. Okay, the four dogs represent the four Vedas. So Dattatreya is such a being that the four Vedas go behind him like dogs. So this is not a disrespecting of Vedas. This is to tell the glory of Dattatreya, that an enlightened one has gone beyond the Vedas. So a sadhaka goes behind the Vedas. Here the Vedas are coming behind the one who has Sakshatkara, that is Dattatreya. And there is a cow. That cow represents Kamadeva, the wish-fulfilling cow. And what is this wish-fulfilling cow? The cow is Jnana. Okay, the Atma Jnana that Bhagwan Dattatreya shares. In this case, the Tripura Rahasya. And this Bhagwan Dattatreya gave the teaching of Tripura Rahasya to Parashurama. Parashurama gave the teaching to a person called Haritayana. Okay, so who wrote the Tripura Rahasya is Haritayana. His actual name is Sumedha, but he is called Haritayana because of his family. And he was in South India, in Madurai Meenakshi, is Meenakshi temple. And he wrote the Tripura Rahasya. It's called Haritayana Samhita. And what did he write? Whatever he learned from his guru Parashurama, he wrote. But what he wrote was the teaching of Dattatreya to Parashurama. Now, how Haritayana got the teaching is a beautiful story. Haritayana, he doesn't, how did he come to meet Parashurama? How did he get a avatar? Parashurama is avatar of Vishnu, right? Now, avatar of Vishnu as your guru is a very great privilege. How did he get a Avatara Purusha as Guru, Sadguru? So in his previous lifetime, uh, of Haritayana, he was born to a man called uh, Sumedha. Okay, and Sumedha had a son who is in the next lifetime will be Haritayana. His son's name is Alarka. And Sumedha used to, in the house, he used to call his wife I, Jai. I means come, I, come here. I, go, Jai, Jai. He would say I, Jai. Now the child learned that. It learned I. So it would call mother I. It would make the sound I. Around 1 year, 1.5 years. Now, and for some reason, the child died. But before the child died, it did something very special, or rather very ordinary. It called its mother I, 3 times. And I think so I is mother. In Marathi also, I means mother. I. The child called I 3 times and it died. But the mother was not around. Fortunately for the child, I doesn't refer to the physical mother. Again, Sanskrit. In Sanskrit or in Vedanta, in Sanatana Dharma, I is the Bija mantra for Saraswati, for the Divine Mother. It goes I. So there's Aim for Saraswati, Shreem for Lakshmi, and Hreem for Durga. And Aim, Hreem, Shreem are Bija mantras, like Om, as significant as Om. And chanting them is not just verbally making some sound. To be able to say that is to be in a certain place in evolution. Okay, you can't arbitrarily tell that. Now this child, it is only calling its mother I, but the Divine Mother responds because she's calling Saraswati, and she blesses him, blesses the child. I mean, in the immediate next lifetime, he's born as Haritayana, and he gets a Sadguru called Parashurama, who is the disciple of Dattatreya, and he gets the Atma Gnana. Now, since he called the mother at a very young age and the mind had not formed, although he got the Sadguru, he got the teaching, but after some time he forgets it. Okay, and he forgets it, and he's in Meenakshi temple. Then Narada comes to him. The story is that Narada comes to him, and he tells him that you need to write the Tripura Rahasya, because this is the most glorious. You have to write the glory of the Divine Mother. Okay, so you are going to the temple. You are going to Madurai Meenakshi. You need to give the world the real mother, the realization of the mother. You need to give the world a way that they can realize the mother within themselves. Okay, and Haritayana says, but I have forgotten. I've forgotten everything. Then he seeks the blessing again. Then he's able to recollect the teachings of Parashurama, and he writes the Tripura Rahasya, the teaching of Dattatreya to Parashurama. So the Tripura Rahasya starts with Parashurama. How did Parashurama get the Tripura Rahasya? One more story. So Parashurama, it jumps into the story of Parashurama. This is the beauty of Tripura Rahasya. Through stories, it expounds the highest teaching. How did Parashurama get the Tripura Rahasya? Parashurama was born, and his job was to destroy all the wrong rulers, Kshatriyas. So he goes on a killing spree. He's completed his killings. He's on a killing spree, eliminating all the Kshatriyas, all the corrupt ones. Then he hears about Rama, and he goes to kill Rama. He gets defeated by Rama. Once he's defeated by Rama, he's shaken. He's completely shaken. How can I be defeated? He's defeated, and in his desperation, in his disturbance, he comes across a Gnani called Samavarta. In the forest, he comes about a Gnani called Samavarta. The Gnani, he interacts with him. He's able to see the peace. He's able to see the silence in the Guru. And he tells him, please teach me. Samavarta says, I am not your Sadguru. He asks him to go to Dattatreya. Okay, you'll find this person. He describes him, and Parashurama goes to Dattatreya. When Parashurama goes to Dattatreya, Dattatreya he's sitting. In one hand, he has wine, okay, alcohol, and on the lap, he has one. There's a naked woman sitting, and it's as if he's, enjoying the pleasures of the flesh and the alcohol and all that. But when Parashurama looks at Dattatreya, he's able to see through all that. He's able to see through that this is not real. It is just a show for me to push me away. And he bows down to Dattatreya and he tells that I know that you are Dattatreya, the realized, the avatar. Please accept me as your disciple. Dattatreya is pleased and he accepts him. Then he teaches him Mahatmya Khanda, that is Sri Vidya Upasana. And he tells him, go. He doesn't give him Atmangnana. He teaches him Upasana and he tells him, go, do it. For 12 years, Parashurama practices this Upasana. 12 years. And you can imagine the patience that somebody has. Okay? Simply because his master told him. 12 years he practices. But at the end of 12 years, he gets the fruit of the Upasana, which is he realizes that it's limited. After all the sadhana, he understands by doing sadhana, you don't get it. Okay, he's put all his effort, and he's an avatar Purusha. He understands. He's intelligent, so he sees through it. After 12 years, he understands that still his mind has not become peaceful. As in, it becomes peaceful, but it springs back. Becomes peaceful, springs back. He comes back to Dattatreya and he says this problem. The mind, I understood what I've done this, I've got powers, so I've got a lot of awakenings, but I'm still not convinced. I'm still not realized the truth. Okay, you see the beauty. Somebody is coming and telling that I still haven't got it. That means he is not ready to settle for anything else apart from the truth. And at that moment, the Bhagwan Dattatreya starts the Jnana Khanda of Tripura Rahasya. So, and that is why it's called Rahasya. It is not a Rahasya in the sense not to give you. It is a Rahasya in the sense that you still haven't come to a stage where you are really seeking it, where you really want the truth itself and not anything else. So most of the time, people are seeking some experience. Most of the time, people are seeking some object, some benefit in the world, some success, some freedom from suffering. Okay? But when Parashurama had come to a stage where I only want the realization of Brahman, I want the annihilation of my mind, then Bhagwan Dattatreya starts the teaching of the real, gives Atmagnana, Tripura Rahasya. And what is this Tripura Rahasya? The Rahasya is not something that you get new. So Rahasya, in the transliteration of Rahasya means secret. But that is not Sanskrit. In Sanskrit, Rahasya means, one meaning is secret. The real meaning is essence. Rahasya means the essence of the three. What is the essence of the three? What is the essence of the waking state, dreaming state, deep sleep state? In the waking state, there is a world, there is a body, and there's some experience. In the dream state, there's a world, there's a body, there's experience. In the deep sleep state, there is no world and there is no body. Okay? So that means the reality, but there is something in the deep sleep state. There's a Rahasya in the deep sleep state. Okay? What is the Rahasya in the deep sleep state? That there is no world. That means there is no object. There is a peace, there is a knowing, and there is I. Okay? This knowing, this peace, and this I are objectless. There is no I in peace, there's no object in peace. Peace is not an object. Okay? It's deep peace. And the knowing is not an object because there's no thought, there's no mind. Okay? And there's consciousness. Consciousness is not an object. So reality is objectless. Reality is subjective, deeply subjective. And subject, are there three subjects? Peace, consciousness, and knowing. There's only one subject called I. That's why you say I was there. There was nothing there, but I was there. That I, that real I, is the only reality. And that real I is Adi Parashakti. Real I is Tripura Devi. Okay? Because that real I in deep sleep doesn't have an object called me. What you say me in the waking state is an object. Me refers to some person, your name, your family, your job. But in deep sleep, there is no object. There is only the pure subject. The pure subject is the pure I. The pure I is the subjective reality of all three states. And that pure subject is Brahman in Vedanta, and the pure subject is Tripura, referred to as Tripura Devi in Tripura Rahasya. So Bhagwan Dattatreya talks and expounds on how not to get the experience of Tripura. Experience you already have. That is the beauty of what Tripura Rahasya points out. So Dattatreya is pointing out that you already have the anubhuti, the aparoksha anubhuti of I am Brahman. But you have never inquired and you think yourself to be something else. Do you understand the difference, the subtlety? He only is emphasizing on vichara. So Dattatreya in the first few chapters are about vichara. Vichara is not about experience, because experience you already have. You already have an objectless experience. You already have the experience of the essence of all the three states, which is consciousness. Okay? But for some reason, your mind is not acknowledging that. So it is through vichara, and vichara is guided by the Guru, Sadguru, where you again look into the reality that is the pure subject of all three states. Okay, this brings a deep peace to the mind, and it's also called annihilation of the mind. And this, in the tradition of Dattatreya, is called Laya Yoga. Okay, Laya Yoga in the sense, no effort, because all effort is for some experience. Dattatreya doesn't acknowledge experience because experience is dependent on object. Like I told you, he doesn't talk about anything lower. He only talks about that which is beyond. And that which is beyond is already in your experience. And through a particular process of vichara, you are able to recognize that which is already there. Okay, this is the glory. This is the path. In this sense, from a perspective of Dattatreya, it is not even a journey. Okay, so people say spiritual journey, spiritual journey. Have you started a spiritual journey? There's no such thing as spiritual journey. Journey means, again, it's referred to a center. Okay, you are here, you have to go there. But both that there and here are concepts. Okay, that means I am somewhere, I have to go somewhere. From the point of view of consciousness, where is the journey? So spiritual journey is a misnomer, is non-existent from the perspective of Dattatreya. So he doesn't talk about the journey. There's no journey, because journey means I have to acknowledge that you are here and you're not here. Okay, so that moment I have to acknowledge that you're the body. But the moment I acknowledge your consciousness, what can I say to you? Does it make sense for me to say you have to become that consciousness? You have to evolve into something else? All I can say is you are that. You are consciousness. Drop this notion of going from here to there, that, this. Drop the notion of, all the false notions. Okay. Now this dropping the false notion becomes a big problem. How to drop? So the Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was asked. Somebody asked him, what is the essence of the Bhagavad Gita? So he told, the essence of the Bhagavad Gita, you do one thing, you tell the word Gita, Gita, Gita. So the person says Gita, 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 Gita. So Gita, 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 Gita becomes Tyagi, 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 Tyagi. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, that is the essence. Tyagi. Tyagi means, Tyaga means to drop. It comes from the Upanishadic statement. There's a statement in the Upanishad. Na karmana, na prajaya, na dhanena, tyage naikena, amritatva manushu. Meaning that amrita, that elixir of realization, you will not get until you renounce. Renounce again is the wrong word. Until you do tyaga. Now people have understood this. First thing they do is tyaga of family. Okay, I want mukti. First I will do tyaga. Because what I have to give up, right? What I have is trouble. Wife is trouble. First you give her up. Okay, husband is trouble. Give up. Job is trouble. Give it up. Okay, money is trouble. Give it up. So now this is the difference again. This is where you make Sanskrit subjective. The moment you make tyaga objective, it means renouncing objects. Now, if Sanskrit is talking about something subjective, it obviously is talking about renouncing the false subject. The false subject is you have a concept of I am this, I am that. So Ramakrishna Paramahamsa tells the essence of the Bhagavad Gita is tyagi. You have to become tyagi. What you have to renounce, not an object. You have some subjective concepts called I am the body. I am the doer. I am the knower. I am the enjoyer. I am so and so. Drop the false identity. When you drop the false identity, what remains is the pure subject, the pure I. Instead of dropping the notion, I am the doer, people drop doing. You see the problem? People stop some action. Okay, I will not do this. I will not go to work. I will not be in the family. That is dropping action. Dropping action doesn't give you, that's why the Upanishad is very, very intelligent. Na karmana. Even dropping action is an action. Okay? No action will give you Brahman. Okay? That means no sadhana, because all action, all sadhana is action. All yoga is action. All tapasya is action. All dana is action. No action will give it to you. Okay? And no renouncing action, renouncing the action also will give it to you, because renouncing action also is action. To know that, to drop the notion I am not the doer of the action gives it to you. Because in that dropping of I am the doer, you realize that I is a non-doer. Consciousness is non-doer, and I am that consciousness. So this is the beauty, significant sharpness and explosion of vichara. It directly addresses the supreme reality and removes all concepts and clutters, makes you completely, in that sense, naked. Okay? And that's why it's called Digambara. Removes free from all concepts, even the concept of I. Okay? Even I is a concept. Whatever you conceptualize, you are that. So you believe you are I. That's why you experience that. Now let's say you stop believing, you stop conceptualizing. What are you? What are you when you remove all concepts? That is the real, that is the secret. And the secret is within. Okay, the within also is again from the reference of the body. But to tell people, to tell common people, the message that is given by the teachers is look within, look within. But look within doesn't mean just closing their eyes and meditating. The look within is not to meditate. The look within is to inquire into what is your real subjectivity, free from all concepts. You always refer to, you always make a center, I. Question that center. Is that really my center? That's why Ramana Maharshi would never speak too much Vedanta. He would directly go to the point. Go to the point. What is the point? Somebody will ask some question. Okay, I have suffering in life, or there's suffering in life. Any question that somebody asks, there is no question that you can ask without you in the picture, I. So he doesn't bother about the question that you ask. He only goes to who is asking the question. Okay. Somebody will ask, oh, I'm suffering in life. Why is there suffering in life? Why is there war? Ramana Maharshi will ask, who is asking the question? Somebody who's perceiving this suffering is asking the question. Who is that somebody? To point out that you are operating from a conceptual frame of reference. He shakes your center, because the center is a concept. That's why you're asking the question. For consciousness, is there a question? There's no question. This is deep silent. So when he asks who is asking the question, the person becomes, when the person looks at who is the I, the person becomes silent. Okay, that concept disappears. And that concept disappearing and the knowledge awakening that I am the real subject will create no more associating with concept, will create the next phase where there is no more associating with concept or taking concept as reality. And that is called Jivan Mukti. Mukti means mukti from the concept of I. When you free from the concept of I, there's nothing more, because that is the final concept. So the Tripura Rahasya talks about the real true subject, the true reality in the waking, dreaming, deep sleep, in the three cities, Puri. And the one who's in the Puri in Vedanta is called as Purusha. So have you heard this word called Purusha? The moment again you hear the word, you translate it to man. Man is the body of man. Again, it's an object. But is Sanskrit referring to man, body of man, when it says Purusha? Sanskrit is referring to, that's why Sanskrit again. The meaning is there in the word. Navadvare Puri Shayati Iti Purushaha. The one who is the master and the indweller of the city of 9 gates is Purusha. The city of 9 gates is the body. So in the waking state, there's a waking body. In the dream state, there's a dream body. And in the deep sleep state, there's a causal body. So waking state body is called gross body, which has 9 gates, 9 openings: eyes, nose, ear, genitals, and ear. The gross body has 9 gates. The subtle body also has gates. And the causal body also has gates. One who is the master of that, one who is animating that, he or that is referred to as Purusha. And that is Brahman. Okay? In the language of Tripura, that is Adi Parashakti. She's called Padmasana Sthite Gauri Parabrahma Swarupini. Same Parabrahma in this tradition is referred to as Adi Parashakti. Okay. Now the difference here is when you associate absolute reality as mother, the enlightenment is faster. Okay, because just the way, that's the story of Alarka. He only told I 3 times unconsciously, and he got a Sadguru. Okay, now the grace of the mother, divine mother, is that you get a Sadguru. So the phala of all sadhana, all lifetimes, going to Tirtha Kshetra, going to temples, doing whatever is done, doing Vedic rituals, doing meditation, whatever Satkarma or Punya Karma, or it's called, what is that? Sadhana. Whatever effort is put, the phala of all that is the divine mother will take the form of Sadguru and appear in your life. That supreme reality, Parabrahman, which is your reality, manifests as a physical guru. This is the way it happened for Haritayana, Parashurama, that the consciousness takes the form of the guru to bring you the message and the pointer, so that you can also recognize the same truth and be free. Okay? Is there any other phala? This is the highest phala. There is no other result. Okay, this is called mukti. So the people who aspire for mukti, they meet a master and they get the teaching of Atma. So we are all fortunate that we've come across this text. I had no idea of taking the text. So one more story about how I came up to taking the text. We were in Tiruvannamalai in October, and it's my wife's birthday. So I taken her to Tiruvannamalai, and it's the place of Ramana Maharshi. So she fell ill. She had fever and everything, and she stayed in the room. I went to Ramana Ashram, and luckily, I had not forgotten it's her birthday, but I had forgotten to buy a gift. So what gift shall I buy? So then I went to the library there. The first book I saw is Tripura Rahasya. Okay, I'll gift her Tripura Rahasya book. And because then I recollected in my memory that the history that I have with Tripura Rahasya. I thought, and I just opened the book, and I saw the beautiful texts, the direct teaching, the highest teaching, and just the way that it's told is very sharp and very clear, no nonsense, crystal clear clarity of teaching of Dattatreya. So I wrapped it and I gave it as a gift. Then she said, okay, what will I do with this? I will read it, but you have to teach it. So you have to teach the Tripura Rahasya to do sessions. So that's how the session started. How the Tripura Rahasya sessions came to happen. So it is. I consider myself fortunate that the Divine Mother is showering special grace to speak on the Tripura Rahasya. It's a great fortune. This is this introductory session. In the next session, we'll take up the first chapter of the Tripura Rahasya. Okay. Any doubts, questions so far in the introduction? Understood what is Sanskrit? I said Sanskrit is the most suitable language for communication of enlightenment. Incidentally, it's also the most suitable language for computer programming. Okay, so there are a lot of beauties about glories of Sanskrit itself that people are coming to know now. No language, no word, no sound can communicate the truth. But still, Sanskrit is very beautiful because it fails lesser. Just the way Osho tells, it fails very, very less. Any other language completely fails. Any word you take in any other language means object. Okay. Another example I'll give you is in Sanskrit, there's a word called Agni. Have you heard the word called Agni? Agni means what? Agni means fire. Its translation is fire. In English, fire refers to the physical fire. But Sanskrit is not talking about physical fire. When Sanskrit says Agni, Agni, the meaning is in the word. That which makes the fire, that which makes everything move, is Agni. Okay? So it's referring to consciousness. The consciousness that makes that element is Agni. Okay, so the beauty is of Sanskrit, and the beauty is that it points out, the language itself points out and makes your mind more subjective and not objective. Okay, otherwise, the mind is always objective. Always you only think in terms of me, other, object. You always think in terms of me, a center called me, and your perception is always corrupted in that sense. Okay, whenever you perceive, whatever you hear, is always going through some filtering mechanism. What is the filtering mechanism? Somebody says, hey, you're an idiot, or you're so ugly, you get hurt. Why? The background is you have associated ugly and beauty with the body. Okay, with the body, and ugly and beauty with some other picture, image. The word ugly is not talking about anything physical. Neither the word you are talking about you, it's talking about you. So when the person makes a statement, you are ugly, that person is not at all talking about you. That person is only blabbering the concepts that they have. They have a concept of you, they have a concept of beauty or ugly. But because you are centered in their concept, or you share concepts, you get hurt. It's like shared drive. In computer, Google Drive, you share drives, right? Somebody else has come, opened up a folder and put all nonsense in that. But you're also shared drive, you also get into trouble. Okay? Because you're shared drive. So stop living in concept, and Sanskrit helps that. Sanskrit makes you more subjective. And you are the inner reality, not the outer shell. Can you get the coconut? So my Guruji, Prabhuji always gives the example of coconut. Well, just bring the coconut. Have I told this example before? What is this? Coconut. Before this, there's another stage. It's wrapped. Even at that stage, it's called coconut. You break it, and the white essence, which is the real coconut, is still called the coconut. So please understand, whenever somebody speaks to you, anybody in the world, they're only speaking to the shell. To the shell, about the shell, for the shell. They have no understanding of the real you. That is why transformation only starts when you meet Guru. Because the Guru never speaks to outer. For Guru, there is no, he or she doesn't perceive man, woman, beauty, ugly, rich, poor, knowledgeable, or dumb. Okay, Shankaracharya had a disciple. That disciple, Shankaracharya had a very few disciples. One of the disciples was considered the dumbest. So he was given the most odd jobs like cleaning, washing clothes, washing the vessels. Okay, he would never sit because he would never understand. So everybody else would make fun of him. Okay, they would make fun of him, and but he was okay. He was receiving that. But at one point of time, when he was taking the insult, he felt it's not an insult for me; it's an insult for my guru. That you're telling I am idiot. That means you're telling my guru is idiot. Because if my guru is great, there's no way I can be an idiot. So he takes that he's talking about my guru, and he closes his eyes and he bows down to his guru mentally, and from his mouth, a beautiful, most complicated Sanskrit words come out. It's called Totaka Ashtakam. Okay, he starts singing Totaka Ashtakam, very profound philosophy. Okay, the essence of Shankaracharya's teaching. And when he speaks that, everybody bows down to him. And Shankaracharya is pleased and he calls him Totakacharya. Okay, because he composed that. The Guru, and in this case, Bhagwan Dattatreya, cannot even, the perception that you're a body, you're a human being is not there. So whenever they interact with you, they do not interact, whatever they say is not about the shell, it's about the real coconut. Okay, that is why only the Guru on the planet will tell Tattvamasi. You are that. Everybody else will tell you are something. You are not that. You are man, you are woman, you're knowledgeable, you're not knowledgeable, you're employee. All that is about the shell. But whatever is told about the shell is not about you. But you live, how do you live? You live as if it's told about you. Somebody tells about your the body, people get hurt. Okay, somebody tells about the mind. You're so buddhu, you don't understand. You get hurt. Whatever is told about the mind, whatever is told about the body, whatever is told about the intellect, whatever is told about the roles that you play, is all told about the outer. Nobody can tell anything about the inner. And even if somebody can tell accurately, it is the Sadguru. That is the significance of a realized master. So why I'm saying this, it's a teaser to the next session. The next session, Bhagwan Dattatreya starts with the importance, significance of the tradition of gurus. Why a guru is significant for vichara? Because vichara will never happen until you get a realized master. Otherwise, your vichara is your own vichara. It's not atma vichara. It's ajnana vichara. Okay? The process of doing vichara is called vidya. That is real Sri Vidya. The Sri Vidya is the vichara. That vichara is the wealth. That is the real wealth. Okay? That which gives you the ultimately wealth is what? If you cannot buy something with it, it's useless. Like you play that business game, no? I don't know if it's called something else now. There's a game as a children we used to play, business. In that there are many cities and you move your pawns and you make money, 1,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees. But all business money is useless. You cannot use it in the real world. Okay, money is only, wealth is only useful when you can do some transaction. The greatest wealth is that with which you can do the highest transaction. And that is vichara. That's why it's called Sri Vidya. It is the highest wealth with which you can get Tripura Devi or Parabrahma or realization. And that happens because of the grace of the Guru and Guru Parampara. So this was the introduction. In the next class, we'll take up the first chapter and maybe the first few chapters of Tripura Rahasya. So any doubts?
Let me thank you first, because I have never heard the story of Dattatreya. I was so engrossed in Ma. I never looked in anyone else. So first time I came to know about Dattatreya. So thank you so much. Because Dattatreya was been flashed since last couple 2-3 days in one of the Ma's regular messages. Okay. And they were calling that somebody had a photograph of Dattatreya with a lady saying Anaga, and he said it's his wife. And somebody said he was a Abdhut. So that question was there in my head. I left it to Ma and she has spoken through you. So
yeah. Bhagwan Dattatreya is considered the avatar of Vishnu. So the parampara is Shiva taught Vishnu. Vishnu as Dattatreya taught Parashurama. Parashurama taught Haritayana. And that's how the Tripura Rahasya was passed down. Ultimately, everything starts with Shiva. Everything starts with Shiva and everything starts with Kashmir. Okay? That is the center. From there, everything was, that's why it's called Sadashiva Samarambhat. Meaning, we chanted the prayer, no? Sadashiva Samarambhat, Shankaracharya Madhyama, Asmadacharya Paryanta, Mande Guru Parampara. Everything starts with Sadashiva. And does the Sadashiva change when it passed down? No. Shiva alone teaches through all gurus. There's no guru apart from Shiva. So if you think there's this guru, that guru, this guru, there's no guru. There's only one. That is Sadashiva. That Sadashiva, that Adi Parashakti, is the only teacher. Okay? She is the one who speaks through all gurus. So that is a story. So understood the story of Dattatreya?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
Guruji. Thank you so much. It was an absolutely very, very informative session and very engrossing session. So thank you so much.
So we'll continue this until the Tripura Rahasya we are able to complete it. It will take, I presume, we'll do it. These sessions will not, unlike before. Before we used to just do 2 sessions or 1 session a month, but this will be every Sunday. As and when you're available, you can join. But regardless, I will continue to do it every week, every Sunday, and the recording will also be available online. Any other doubts? Shall we close?
Namaste, Krishnaji. Sorry, I just wanted to ask if we are able to, skip just one Sunday because we are doing our AVSC sessions with Prabhuji.
Okay.
We would want to, do that as well parallelly. So I was just wondering if, 1 week if we have for that, because some of us were feeling that if every Sunday if we have this, the AVSC, we can't really put it to Saturday because one is Mitali would be working. The other one is
then you'll be in a position to choose between me and Guruji.
No.
It's a big trouble. Oh my God, how do I choose this way or this way? So it's okay. We'll do it three weeks in the month. One we'll leave so that you can attend the session.
We'll also have the recordings, isn't it?
We'll have the recording, but okay. But if you want to really attend, we can do just 3 times a month. Is that okay?
Yes. Yeah. Thank you very much.
So let me know when that Sunday is. That's all.
Okay, we'll decide amongst us and then let you know.
Yeah, just let us know. In the group you can post and then we'll plan it accordingly.
Thank you.
So you're safe. You're not in Brahma Sankata. How do I choose between this class and that class? Both are same. The content of that and the content of this is same.
But this is Shravana and that will be Manana, right? We'll have some time for Manana as well.
So that's the thing. That's the correction, right? Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa cannot be separated ever. Okay, it's just for to keep people engaged, to keep people motivated, to get people to take that direction. It is told, okay, do Shravana, this is you do Manana offline and all that. But Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasa happens Shravana. Only in Shravana it's encapsulated. So when you hear is the moment you also understand. The moment you understand is also the moment you are that.
Yes, Krishnaji, I agree with you. I don't disagree. What I wanted to say was the other day while I was talking to Prabhuji, so how he tried to, tell or put it is, what he told sound really, really good. Why means because Shravana is like input. I am getting the input. That's very good.
Yeah.
There should be some output from me by which I myself will be made sure that whatever input I've got, I have taken it properly, and that will happen only when I say it out. I will know whether it is being told, whether I've taken it in the right way. So this happens in the AVSC sessions, right? I'll be allowed to talk. Of course, I'm allowed to talk here as well, but it will be more like my vichara, what is happening in my mind.
Yeah.
So
That's
why.
Just taking that as an opportunity to tell about Shravana Manana Nityasa. Because I never in my life did Manana Nityasa. For me, only it was Shravana. When I went to my master, for me, my master is Sadguru, he's God. And just be like a sponge. Tells the teaching, absorb like a sponge, finished, over.
Yeah, for the intellect or whatever I am made of, I'm not I'm not of that sort. I'm so probably hard. I'm not able to. I need more of this sort of things probably, right? So I need manana.
You actually need 12 years of Sri Vidya Upasana, then you should come back, like Parashurama. You were not there, right? I was telling Parashurama. You were there, that part, when Parashurama went 12 years. So you missed all this. 12 years, Parashurama did sadhana, and only then Dattatreya taught him the Atmanjnana. So lucky for us, we are in the Kali Yuga. If gurus in Kali Yuga started putting that condition that you have to do 12 years of sadhana, there will be nobody, no ashram. All ashram will be Kali. All gurus will not have any disciple. Okay. So our grace, it's a great fortune to be born in Kali Yuga, where you don't have to do any sadhana. Enough going from your place to office is a big sadhana. Raising children is a big sadhana. Being married is a big sadhana. Surviving through social media and LinkedIn and paying your electricity bill is big sadhana. So fortunately, the gurus recognize that and exempt us from all upasana and sadhana and directly give us Atmanjnana. Okay, so very happy. So thanks to all of you as well for joining the sessions, because without somebody to listen, there's nobody to speak as well. So it's the mother appears as guru, the mother appears as disciple, the mother also appears as internet connection, and mother appears as recording later. Okay, so with this we complete the introductory session. Karpura Gauram Karunavataram Samsara Saram Bhujagendra Haram Sada Vasantam Hridayara Vinde Bhavam Bhavani Saitam Namami Tvameva Mata Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. My pronouns to all. There are no more questions. We can end the session.
Thank you so much, Krishna. Jai Ma.
Hari Om Guruji.
Hari Om.
Hari Om Guruji. Thank you so much.
Hari Om Guruji. See you next day, next Sunday.
Hari Om Swanji.